That's your grandson. That's the white boy. See, I'm black, you know.
Okay, hi. I'm just going on Instagram. So here I go. Here I go. Oh, hair. Hair. Oh, look at the hair. It looks like I got a wig on. I think I'm going bald. My hair is receding. Oh my goodness. But I have a lot of it back here, a lot of it up here. So maybe I'm going to have to comb it forward. Oh my goodness. Welcome, everybody. It's gnarly out there. I told y'all. It's gnarly. I mean, March isn't starting off with, oh, let's just ease into the energy. No. This isn't a year of easing into anything. This is a year of, cracking the whip and getting your ass moving. That's what this year is. So, let us get going. On what's going on, the structural threshold. I mean, the changes are here. I did mention about a ship being bombed, and unfortunately, I think there was one. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes with the astrology and stuff, when you're using it, it can really give you some crazy information, and sometimes it seems like wacko. It seems like really out there, and yeah. And then when it happens, you kind of like, holy shit, okay, that's what it is. So right now, with the energies and what I'm looking at is a lot that there's a lot of ar- arch- archeo- architectural changes that are happening. And it's beautiful. Structure does not but the thing is that structure doesn't ask permission when it reorganizes. And this eclipse is not mm, it's not emotional drama. It's, again, it's all about the nervous system and it's the refinement. I mean, Virgo rules the nervous system, the gut, the small intestines, the brain body axis, pattern recognition, and precision. And this is I love it. It's at 12 degrees, March 3rd at 3:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, I mean, there's a lot of like mirror codes here, internal alignment, decision through clarity. This is not about reacting to what is visible, it's about perceiving what is emerging beneath the visibility. And this eclipse coincides symbolically, love this, symbolically with the Lantern Festival in the Lunar New Year, the illumination of the edge of darkness, right? You are not lighting the path to avoid darkness. You're lighting the path so you can walk through it. That's the beauty of it, right? And this is a blind seer activation, not the front facing of the third eye, the external perception. It's the back of the eye perception, the internal knowing. That's what this is. And it's so beautiful. And I just feel like it's like almost that I'm gonna like I got a ballroom dancers, like these two beautiful ballroom dancers, and everything is sort of dark where they start to dance. And as they move through, everything starts to light up because they're trusting the movement of each other. They're trusting the guidance of each other as they're moving through this dance, this movement. And that's what we are here to start doing, is to move through. We got to trust our steps. We got to trust this dance. The eclipse is teaching us clarity without proof, direction without confirmation. I mean, the moon is in Virgo today. I'm going to say we're in it already, even though it's not the full eclipse yet. So the movement without external validation, that is the next level embodiment, right? So we are here, we are embodying all of this beautiful energy. And Pluto in Aquarius, the optic rewiring. So since Pluto entered Aquarius, we are in a long-term perpetual recalibration. And Aquarius governs the nervous circuitry, the neural pathways, the electrical signals that the transmission, and the eyes, the binocular vision and the broad perspective. And Pluto governs deep transformation, biological metamorphosis, and cellular level rewiring. So many are reporting headaches behind the eyes, jaw tension, upper teeth sensitivity, nervous system spikes, vision shifts, right? And this isn't random, right? This this is the energies and the frequencies that are coming in. Perception is a recalibrating slowly because if it happened all at once, we'd be fragmented. This is a biological integration. Yeah. So this eclipse, and I heard, I can't remember who I heard this from, but called it a diamond biology reset, right? And a diamond biology, and I love that. I love that, you know, and calling it a diamond biology. I feel like there's even I think someone who does, I think they call it diamond astrology, something along that lines. But the diamond is precision, it's beauty. When we look at a diamond, it has a glistening part to it, and it is it's rare, and we're rare, right? We're rare. So we're having this beautiful diamond ball biology reset going on. And this eclipse is dissolving survival imprint, hypervigilance stored in the fascia, outdated threat responses, overrated loops. And you're going to notice digestive shifts, nervous sensitivity, emotional detox, fatigue, and clarity rising from within. This is not a collapse. This is a refinement, and you're returning to this irregular original architecture. And this is where when Mars enters into Pisces today, this softens the force. Action becomes aligned, fluid, effortless, guided. But instead of war driven action, we move through coherence. You can be productive, but it won't feel frantic. That's the huge shift. And Venus entering into Aries, which is on March 6th. This is results, movement, immediate visible shifts. Saturn and Neptune in Aries, structural timing, long game, uh, dissolution before form. This is where frustration can rise. So, excuse me. Important reminder for you all is forcing outcome during structural recalibration creates distortion. Let the architecture stabilize. It's not a quick fix window. This is a 6-month refinement corridor until the next eclipse reset. So we're going to see on the 3rd um, a lot of changes and activations happening. So some of the things I would love for you to do, and I'm going to do it myself, is light a candle or a lantern. Go outside if you can, walk slowly, and do not ask for clarity. Do not ask for an answer. Instead, I trust the light within me to illuminate what I'm ready seeing, and feel it in the back of the head, the space between the behind the eyes. Notice that what arises without forcing. You're not losing direction. You're refining perception. And with this, I mean, with what I'm doing at this time is where Mars's theme about the clarity and the ending, right? The identity, the dissolution. This eclipse is identity refinement, nervous system stabilization, structural sovereignty. It ties directly into your staying human during disruption container. And this is where we want to be ahead of the waves, not behind it. That's powerful. And we don't want to overwhelm your body, we don't overwhelm you. So this is where, in doing what I'm doing and doing these different systems, is getting us to really come into the lantern. This is where we are standing at a structural threshold. This is where we're starting with the nervous system levels. This is a perception recalibration, right? Because the eclipse is not asking you to react, it is asking you to refine. And I feel like with everything that is going on, the bombardment of so much that is coming out to us all, it's it can, have havoc on your nervous system, in your gut, in your small intestine. This is where you're going to find that this full moon eclipse in Virgo at 12 degrees is a mirror, right? It's showing you things. It's showing you things that, okay, I need to recalibrate this part, and I need to just sit still on this part. That's very important with everything that is happening within the world at this time. Because there is so many shifts and so much activation happening right now, we're feeling it. We're feeling a lot of the vibrations. There is just huge eruptions along the belt around Tokyo of earthquakes. There has been a lot of shifts in that happening in around the Atlantic belt of earthquakes and shifting that's happening within the earth volcanoes erupting. There was a mud volcano erupting. I think that was in Chile or Brazil. No, 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 Colombia. So there's all of these crazy energies that are shifting and moving. And of course, we live on this planet. You may not know know it, but you're feeling it, right? So you may not know it, but you're feeling it. And when you're feeling it, this is where it's going to activate that nervous system. This is where it's going to activate a lot of the precisions and the patterns. That's why this activation that's going on is really going to get you dissolving a survival archetype, not your personality, not your dreams, not your survival imprint. But many of us have been operating on a hyper vigilance for years: the fight, the fix, the force, the brace. And this is where we don't need to brace anymore. Yeah, there is chaos in the world. Yes, there is huge activations that are going on right now. And it is looking at where you are. Are you safe? Yes, I'm safe. Do I have a roof over my head? Yes, I have a roof over my head. I'm going to be okay. If something feels like it's falling away right now in your personal life, it is. But it's not a collapse, it's a recalibration, right? Every time when I always say this, I look at somebody's chart, I always see something new, which is cool. And even for my own chart, because my 10th house is Pisces, and Pisces is about dissolving things, like it'll dissolve. And I sat and I was looking at my chart and everything that has gone on recently or in the past. And I'm like, wow. And looking, and going back through other transits and stuff that were going on at the time, where for me, right after, that Saturn Neptune conjunction, um, the store that I was working in, basically, I'm going to say dissolved. It's no longer there. I've had where I've worked at positions where my position had dissolved, called into the office. Sorry, your position is no longer valid, basically. And you're just like, what do you mean? I was just doing fine. I was doing great, but your position is no longer valid. It's dissolved. right? And I've had that. I've had many times in my life where things have just dissolved. Where I've lived, dissolved. Oh, you're no longer needed at this place, it dissolves, right? So this is where we're finding for many other people, those even though you may not have Pluto Pisces in the 10th house, this is where a lot of things in your lives will be dissolving, right? Where you're going to find that things that aren't aligned, they're just no longer there. And it is that recalibration. So this lantern energy that's coming in, because tomorrow is going to be the lantern festival for the Lunar New Year cycle. It's the illumination at the edge of the darkness. And I just love that symbolism. And you're not lighting the candle to remove the shadow. You're lighting the candle so you can walk through it. The eclipse activates what I call the blind seer. As I said before, not the front facing third eye. It's the one that scans externally for confirmation, the back of the eye perception, the internal knowing, clarity that's not requires proof. And during this eclipse, we do not demand answers, right? So this is instead, again, this is where I ask what I already know, because this is not about an external validation. This is an internal coherence. And that's what people are having. And especially with Virgos. Virgos are, gotta love my Virgos. They want validation. They want to see it. They want, because it's an earth sign, even though it's mutable and it's ruled by Mercury, they still want validation. And this is where your validation is your internal self. And that there in itself is like, okay, I need an outward perception, right? You might even want to go into your third eye, show me, and your third eye is taking you back into your internal. And you're like, what? And this is that transformation at the deepest levels. And when Pluto's at what, 4 degrees in Aquarius, this is huge. This is neural circuitry. This is electrical pathways. This is the border field of perception. And with Pluto moving into, has moved into Aquarius, and this is a perpetual recalibration. And we're going to be going through this for some time, but we're going to get to a point where it's like, okay, yes, it's like just knowing that this is happening. We're not freaking out when it's happening. But since we're at the beginning of all of this, it is kind of a freak out. This is where things are going on. Now, again, I'm going to repeat, you might get headaches behind the eyes, your jaw and upper teeth tension, right? Nervous system spiking, vision shifts, increased sensitivity to things. And again, it's not random. This is, because we don't want it to happen all at once. If all of this all started happening all at once, we'd be totally fragmented. We honestly, our bodies would not be able to sustain the energies that are coming forth and the changes that are coming into our bodies. It has to come into these phases. So it is gradual, because it has to layer into the systems. Our bodies are thick, we're dense. And this recalibration of the brain and the body is happening with this eclipse. And that's why I call it that. And I love it. I'm stealing her phrase, but that diamond biology, because we are what, Aladdin said, a diamond in the rough, right? So we're a diamond in the rough, and we're being chiseled. And the thing is that when you are chiseling a diamond, you have to have precision with it. You can't just go and start chiseling any which way you want to, because it could fracture, it could fragment, it could be destroyed. And so when we are returning to our original architecture, this is reducing unnecessary activation, releasing stored survival imprinting in the fascia and in the gut. So you might feel tired, and you may feel clearer, you may feel both. That's refinement. And this moon is a time of taking taking that time, taking that action, right? Less force, more flow. This is alignment effort. You may find yourself um, productive, but without frenzy, right? It's like, oh, I have to get it done. It's like, no, I'm going to get this done. That's new. Now, if you're still in an activation where you feel like you're in fright and flight, I would say sit your ass fucking down. Don't be trying to force things. And if you're freaking out over shit, take a step back and take a breath, because this energy, if you're doing that, that's where we're going to find where a lot of people are going to head into and have a lot of mental illnesses. Like it'll if you are a person that suffers from different um, symptoms or different things, it might spike you, it might increase you, because you're trying to control it instead of allowing it in many ways, right? So this is, with Venus in Aries, when she goes in there on the 6th, and she approaches Saturn and Neptune, man, that's not easy shit. Like, yeah, Venus likes Saturn because Saturn makes things pretty. Saturn gives order and structure, and she likes that, right? But there's tension there. And Venus in Aries wants results. Saturn and Neptune, structural timing, long game, dissolve before form. And this is where this week is going to be feeling very frustrated. And that's why. But this is not a forcing window at all. It's a stabilizing, and it warps. So allow for this reorganization. This is a 6-month refinement corridor until the next eclipse. So you're not behind. You are integrating. And we're all integrating. Everybody on this planet is integrating. And we're going through this refinement in this world at this time, and that's on a personal level. Now, what I recommend for you to do tomorrow and even tonight is to light a candle or a lantern and take a walk at night, right? Allow for that clarity, allow for that illumination. Don't push anything, just allow. Feel into the back of your head, the space behind the eye, and notice what arises without forcing it. So you're not losing direction, you're refining the perception, and you're becoming the lantern. And that's what we want for you all. Now, if you want to go deeper with me, of course, there's my March, April, and May. The Gather Ground container is open, and it is focusing on clarity and boundaries and embodied expression through the entire recalibration window. And definitely DM me if you're interested in doing this. And we want you to take care of your nervous system. Things are going to get crazy. Like, it's been loud, it's been expressive in many different ways. And it's just going to get, unfortunately, louder and crazier, and explosive. So we're going to see a lot of things escalating. And as they escalate, more for the recalibration, more for the grounding with what is unfolding at this time, right? So, my loves, I want you to go forth, take your time today. Try not to force things. You're going to see a lot of erratic behavior, a lot of people going crazy, and a lot of things being revealed that are I don't. It's funny because I'm not scared. It's just I get very angry with some of the things that are getting revealed, because I push back at it. So a lot of evil is going to be starting to um, appear. So for those who are in my container, there is I hope you watch the video that I sent out to you all, because there's a meditation on bringing in that light and allowing for you to make sure that you bring forth and calibrate and have that light around you wherever you go, because it's going to be very important for you to really bring forth a cocoon around you as you're going out into your job, as you're going out driving, as you're going out doing different errands, and sometimes like even walking around your own home to have it set up, and making sure that you're bringing yourself into that cocoon so that anything that is projected at you bounces off. I know for myself, um, I've been really consciously doing it more and more, in setting up that, energy and that force field around me, and, just allowing for only that of love and light to come forth in me, through me, and around me, in all that I say, and all that I be, and all that I do, and that anything that is no longer a part of my energy, no longer a part of my energy field, shall go. And it's amazing what has bounced off, what isn't in my alignment. What I feel when something is asked of me, how I feel, and I'm just like, "No, that's not right." Or how like, I do have I call it my devil radar. Like, I just you just know, like, I just know when something is not good kinda thing. And, um, s sometimes Steve goes, "Why are you so angry? Why are you so mad at that person?" I'm just like, "I just know that's just you're watching evil walk by you. You're watching that." And it's funny how if I'm out in public and I can feel that, how they sort of move around me, or they move away, or they don't come down the aisle I'm shopping at. It's quite hilarious because you just know. And more of that is it's coming up. So more of that is coming forth. And that's why we have to really, because as you are becoming this beautiful energy force in the world, more attacks are upon you personally, and some of them you may not even realize it. Some of you might think that you're living in a utopia, or everything's fine, everything's great, but then you wonder why you're getting angry, or you're arguing with your significant other, or you're arguing with your children, or you're upset with the neighbor, or whatever it is. These are things that you got to be aware of, because those are subtle little pokes that come in that throw you off that energy of that recalibration. And so you got to be aware of it. Okay. And it can happen just very slightly. And it happens to all of us. But the more awareness we have of it, the more that we are allowing ourselves to protect and be aware, the stronger we are. Right. And the stronger you are, sometimes the more attacks, or the more you start to see. But that vibration helps you to be able to say, no, I'm not taking that anymore. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not falling into that. That's not into my alignment. And that's what you got to trust in right now. And that's part of the humility. That's part of the stabilization that's coming forth. That's where we are starting to, you know, where before people might have been afraid to say things, and now people are not afraid to say anything. They're stepping out and saying it. They might have said it in their group, but now they're saying it out publicly, right? And I know for me, of course, I offend people because I say things, and they may not like what I say, and it's just that it's truth. It's where you come in and you're coming from a place of love, but you're also coming from a place of truth. And that's where you have to come in and do that stand, and that's part of the recalibration. That's why things are escalating. That's why there's chaos. That's why there's war. We live in a three-dimensional world. We don't live in a world that total enlightenment. We didn't go on that planet. Yes, we can attain that. Yes, we can have that. But in order to hold it, we still have to live, and we have to breathe, and we have to walk within this world. And holding it is holding it as an example, and being that example. And that can be the hard part because we all fall, we all fail, we all do fucked up shit. You know, that's part of the journey, it's part of the fun. So, light a candle, light a lantern, take a walk. Definitely get out, take a walk, if it's just around the block. And may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all you do. Have a blessed one, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye bye.